A very good afternoon, everyone. Since morning, we have been hearing about the issues which are related to cybersecurity. What are the things that we need to take care? I'll take another 10-15 minutes to talk about what are the solutions we have in hand and how can we protect our infrastructure better in terms of security, availability, confidentiality. So in the space of cyber digitization. So first, let's talk about the key mistakes, 3 key mistakes that we make. Any organization, CIO, CISO I speak to, they all think that we have the best protection in place. But I may tell you that today, no matter what prevention technology you deploy in your networks, it cannot be 100%. There is no silver bullet. So always prepare your mind that the breach is going to happen. It may get today, tomorrow, or some other day, but it is going to happen. So go with that mentality that breach is going to happen. Invest in prevention, but do invest in detection and remediation if that does happen. Second, there is a myth in security that if we have updated antivirus, updated patches, then we are 100% secure. That's not true. Today, antivirus can detect only 20-25% of all the attacks that are coming your way. The rest, 70 to 80% attacks will go through. The third, expecting large-scale breaches to look large. There are thousands of attacks coming in. Out of those, there is one attack that is more dangerous. And if you are not able to detect or prevent that attack, the damage is done. The data that goes out of the organizations is always in chunks of pieces. There won't be any anomaly system raising up. It is very, very difficult to look into that attack out of the thousands of attacks that are happening. So these are the key mistakes that we are doing. So is there a security solution today in the market that can detect both known and unknown? So known, we have done a lot of things. Implemented firewalls, implemented antivirus systems, IDS, IPS. What we have done to detect unknown attacks? Is there a solution available? Or have we implemented it? Have we thought through it? The irony is, almost every organization look to invest in detection technologies which are signature-based, which can only detect in known attacks. But there are so many attacks are happening which are unknown attacks, or zero-day as we call. There are technologies available that can detect unknown attacks. We should look at those now. We should look at all vectors when we are preventing an attack. An attack can come in through web, through email, through endpoint, through mobile. Most of the times, the organization will look at one vector at a time in silo, try to secure it. It's like you have a house with 4 gates. You put locks in 3 of those, or 2 of those, and think you're secure. Until we look at universal security across all threat vectors, we are not doing justice to security. Next, is there any plug-and-play security that doesn't require fine-tuning? I've been working with government departments for the last 15 years in security domain. I've seen there are very good products that have been bought, but they were not implemented the way they should be implemented. Now, there are various issues behind it. Could be the SI skill set, the organization own skill set, keeping up the pace with the skill set. There are so many things. All these technologies, it is called for firewall. A firewall is as good as its administrator or the way it is implemented. So we invest in the best firewall, but we do not implement it the best way. So there are technologies available, and I'll talk about that technology that doesn't require skill set to implement. It's a plug-and-play thing. Doesn't require any fine-tuning to be done over a period of time. Provides the right context and intelligence to prioritize and action the alerts. There would be thousands of attacks. That will still happen, even when you have these kind of products. But the products should be able to prioritize those thousands of alerts into 2, 3, 4 actionable alerts that needs action to be done. There is no way a human analyst can look at thousands of alerts and do justice to that. So the system should be intelligent enough to prioritize that and then give you 2-3 actionable alerts where you can work on. Help reduce dwell time from months to minutes. Everyone aware of what is dwell time when we talk about cyber breaches? Okay, the dwell time is the time an attacker gets into your network or in an organization's network from that time till he gets detected or you detect the presence of an attacker within your network. From the time he's in to the time he gets detected. A question to everyone, do you know how much time do you think for organizations that we are talking about, they will take to detect a cyber intruder in their network? And we will be talking about global figures, we'll talk about India figures and all those things here. Any guesses to it? How much time do you think an attacker can be present in your network without you even knowing about it? And I don't want to name a bank. Why I'm taking example of a bank. Banks are considered to be the most security savvy, most investment ready when it comes to these technologies. And I was talking to one of the biggest banks in India. I was talking to the CISO, and I made this statement. And when I showed them this figure, they couldn't believe it. And they always thought that it could be in minutes, if not more, and it's for their bank. And when we showed them, even for their bank, the attackers being present in their network for so long and they have no visibility. It is 520 days. It's an astonishing figure for APJ. 520 days an attacker is present in your network and the organization doesn't know about it. Globally, it is 146 days, and even then it's quite big time. Simplify security operations and ability to self-discover and operationalize response to breaches. The problem is today that there are so many products thrown in. We talk about tons of security solutions within an organization. Then we have a security operations center which is supposed to take care of all those security and bring meaning out of those alerts. So there's a solution that can do that. So all the problems that I stated above, we as a FireEye has a solution there, which is known as FireEye Helix. It's an end-to-end detection and response platform that can leverage your current investment in various technologies like antivirus, firewalls, IDS, IPS, identity and access management systems, SIEMs, and then allow you to have a single platform that can do that. When we talk about a kill chain, there are so many steps that happen before an attack happens in your environment and then post that attack happens. Basically can be clubbed into 3 stages. Before an attack, during an attack, and after an attack. Right now, most of the investment, 90% as per the Gartner, goes in before an attack scenario, prevention of an attack. Only 10% goes in detection and response, which is actually requires much more investment than prevention, because prevention is going to fail. And then you need detection and remediation. FireEye has a gamut of products, the platform that I'm talking about, which can help you before an attack happens, during an attack, and post an attack with a single platform, give you the entire visibility. So this is what we do typically today without FireEye. It's a malware-focused approach. We find an alert on a system saying that it is compromised. We will go try to remove the malware using an antivirus or any of this software. If we are able to do so, good enough. If we are not able to, then we reimage that system and think we are done with the problem. We fail to understand that that malware is just a tool that an attacker is using. If that tool fails, he'll come up with another tool through a different vector, and he'll keep doing it until he succeeds. What we get from FireEye is a different approach, which is an attacker-focused approach. Here, instead of removing the malware, we identify the attacker, we scope the compromise, we see whether he has literally spread, whether he has compromised the system and taken away the credentials, because most of the time, malware is just a footprint into the door. Once the attacker is inside, he will capture the credentials, and tomorrow he will not use malware, but will use those credentials through VPN and come within your environment. Then you assess the data loss, you remove the attacker from the network, and then re-secure the network. And this is what you get with FireEye. Today, once an attack happens, the existing technologies, will the FireEye tell you what did the attacker steal? No. How long the attacker have been in your network? No. What do I need to remove the attacker? We don't get those kind of information. With FireEye, you'll get answers to these questions. Before we get into this platform, we offer these services depending on the customer infrastructure requirement, wherein today, can you say for sure your network is not compromised as on today? That there is no attacker present in your network with 100% assurance. Can you say that? It's very difficult to come up with the answer until you go for these kind of assessments. Am I compromised? As on today, with this service, we can tell you, is there already a compromise within your network or not? If yes, who is the attacker? What is his motive? From where he is there? What are the data he's already stolen? We can give you answers to all those questions. That's a compromise assessment. Then you can also go for an MI prepared service, wherein we do design those attacks against the organization, and then we tell you where your security controls are failing and help you to improve them. And then I have been breached. If you already know that there is breach that has already happened, for example, Bangladesh Bank got us in once they came to know that the breach happened. And then we can come in and help you do the incident response. 1 minute on FireEye. FireEye is a global company which is into incident response. Almost every breach that you hear about in the news or which gets into the headlines is investigated by FireEye. When we talk about the products, we have a 56% market share in the advanced threat landscape. Almost all big name space, even in India, all the big private banks, telecoms, they rely on FireEye for the cybersecurity today. Nessus is FireEye's premium implementation partner for India. And together we have done some good work. And we have a booth outside, booth number 3. You can come and visit us, and we can talk more about the solutions that we provide and how we can be a partner in the security journey that we have. Thank you. We'll take questions offline at the booth since we are running out of time. Please feel free to come to our stall and we can have a chat around it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Vipul Kumra, Systems Engineer Leader, Asia Pacific Japan at FireEye. It was an insightful presentation, I must say. We have with us Mr. Vijay Kumar, DIG IT CRPF. A big round of applause for him. I'll request Mr. Vijay Kumar, sir, to come on stage and give the memento to our eminent speaker from FireEye. Mr. Vijay Kumar, DIG IT CRPF. A big round of applause for him. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.